Hey friends, welcome back to another children's sermon. For those of you who are new here, it's good to see you and be with you. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. My name is Becca, for those of you who don't know. And we're going to do a children's sermon today on the reading from Acts. So if you want to read along or you want to know the story more, you can pause this video here and go read Acts 4:32 through 35. And if you want to follow along in a World Bible, you can turn to page 442. So today we have to talk about sharing. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a really hard time sharing my favorite things. Like, I really don't like to share a blanket. I want it all to myself. And I really just, it's so cozy when it's all mine. But you know, we are supposed to share. And our gospel, or our reading from Acts today, tells us all about sharing. So I'm going to tell you about Acts. So first, Acts is in the New Testament. So if the first half is the Old and the second half is the New. So it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, right at the end after the Gospels. So Acts is all about the early church. So after Jesus dies and goes to heaven, and comes back and then goes to heaven, all the disciples, Jesus's disciples, are now trying to create and build the church that we know. So in the story today, they talk about sharing. They're talking about what Christians were trying to tell people was that we should love more like Jesus. And they were asking, how do we love like Jesus? And this one person says we should share everything we have. So when we think about things that we can share, what are some things that we could share with one another? Well, if my mom came over to my house and was cold, I would share my blanket with her. She would probably really appreciate it because her feet get really cold. And maybe you could share your toys with someone you love. Or maybe we share something with people we don't know. So what are some things we can share with people we don't know? I think we could share food with people who need food. Or maybe we share our old clothes with people who need clothes. Or maybe you have shoes that you've outgrown and you're going to share them with someone around you. Maybe you could take them to a place that gives clothes to people in need. Or maybe your friend who's younger than you and has smaller feet than you can wear your old shoes. Yeah, so we can share with people we don't know and people we know. Which one do you think is easier? I don't know. I think sharing with strangers is probably easier than sharing with people we know, because I'm giving you something. I'm sharing my possessions with somebody I don't know that I don't need, right? Or I don't want. And so sharing with people I know can be really hard because I want it and I need it. Or my blanket, for example, I want to be cozy in it. I still want it and still need it. So it's hard to share with what I still have with somebody that I know, right? But today in Acts, our story tells us to share with everyone because it's how we can love everyone. And so that is what Jesus taught us to do. And so now that Jesus is no longer with us, or is no longer in the story with the disciples, they have to teach everybody how to love like Jesus. So the believers in this story, they shared all kinds of things. Their food, their clothing, their money. They shared everything with everybody. So it's important when we think about sharing and how the church today, how we today can share, we share with our community. We share with our church family. We share with our family and our friends. So this week, I hope that you will read the story in our World Bible, or maybe in your Bible. And I can't wait to hear how you're sharing with your family and with your friends and your neighbors. All right, friends. Till next time. See ya.